Scott, after Monday's terrific victory, we're back on the road again as we travel to Mansfield. Can I get your thoughts ahead of that game?
Yeah, obviously a very, very tough game against a very, very good side. I think they're second in the league. They're second in the league for a reason. They've got some fantastic players at this level of football, and we know it's going to be a challenging game. But you know, we're also in a good place. We're playing well. We're hitting form at the moment, and obviously picking some, really valuable points up. So yeah, it's a game we're looking forward to. We've been good away from home as well. So let's see how it unfolds.
Yeah, as you say, plenty to be positive about. Obviously, I'm sure the confidence is sky high after a 4-0 victory and a clean sheet. So, the vibe around the camp must be pretty good at the moment.
It is, yeah. No, we've come in this morning, we've trained this morning, and the mood in the camp's very bubbly and bouncy. We debriefed the game from Monday, and showed a lot of positive actions in which we played. So now listen, we're in a good place at the moment. So long may that continue. Yeah,
it's something that we don't speak about too often, but we're probably going to go from one of the nicest pitches in the league on Monday to perhaps not one of the worst. That would be harsh, but Mansfield had their game called off on the Monday. So does that affect the way that you prepare for a game at all, or is it sort of just same old and you sort of have to deal with the conditions when you get there?
No, none whatsoever. We don't change from what we want to do and how we want to play. I'm the type of coach that no matter what pitch we play on, we will always do what we've been doing all season. And I remember quite a few years back playing probably some of the best football that I've ever coached at Forest Green, playing at Newport's ground actually, when they had a game of rugby on it the night before, and we were very good that day. So I think sometimes it can be an excuse for people, but we won't be certainly using it as an excuse. We're going to go there and set our team up and play the way we've been playing.
Yeah, we've had lots of games, and we've obviously got lots more games coming up as well in quick succession. Is there sort of any temptation to make any sort of necessary changes, or is it always hard, I suppose, after a 4-0 victory? I'm sure you won't want to change much at all.
Well, I think the distance between the two games is key as well. Obviously we played Monday and then we got Saturday, so it's almost not far off a full week really. So the players will be recovered and ready to go again. So we have to assess one or two still. So we still haven't kind of nailed our team yet, but come tomorrow we will be. Obviously we're going to train here tomorrow and then travel, so it'll be all organised and done by then.
Yeah, we've got, it seems like only a handful of games to go now, and we speak a lot about, as I've already said, the confidence in the group. How important is it that the players channel that into these next few games, especially when a lot of them are going to be away from home and very hard, because we're playing a lot of people around us, aren't we?
Yeah, we are, but we're good away from home, so we're not bothered about that, and we've been good here as well. So we'll take whatever it is. But yeah, we're just going to keep chipping away at each game, and hopefully it'll be enough by the end of the season to get us into where we want to be. So, but yeah, listen, boys are really focused on it, and we look forward to the rest of these games because they're all big games for us now, and there's nothing better than a footballer or a manager to play in big games that mean something. So no, we're really focused and looking forward to it.
In recent sort of years, Crawley have always looked at sort of the striker as being the main person who's relied on scoring the goals. It seems this season that we haven't had to rely on that at all. Obviously, Dan's done excellently, and he's up to 18 for the season. But especially on Monday, we saw players from all around the pitch, 2 centre backs on the score sheet. How much importance has that had on the season for you so far, knowing that you can rely on lots of players to get on the score sheet for us?
Yeah, really important. I think that we've spent a lot of time actually on the training ground on set pieces, which has been important. Credit's got to go to the coaching staff on that. They do a hell of a lot of work. Looking at the opposition where they see spaces where we can kind of hurt them, and so a lot of credit's got to go to the staff on that. But yeah, we've got players certainly at the top end of the pitch as well on open play where we're capable of scoring goals. I think you've seen Jeremy score. And Darcy scored a couple, if not maybe more, this season. So we probably want more from them, and the wide players as well. Nick scored a few as well, and maybe need a bit more from Kellen. So but no, everybody's sort of like chipped in with that. So I've been really pleased.
Yeah, I want to talk about those two. The wing backs are a position that we've seen change, quite a lot over the season. It seems that different wing backs have been hitting different patches of form at different times. I can imagine it's pleasing for you, but then also is it, getting hard to sort of select who starts there? Obviously, Harry was a forced one at the weekend, but in this running, it must be pretty tricky for you to be able to pick two.
No, it becomes easy. Really, it actually comes easier when they're playing well because they're the ones you go with. Like Harry Forster at form. And stayed in the side, and I believe that was the right thing to do. He was just playing so well. He was arguably our best player in pretty much all them games, so he kept his spot. And then, Nick was really patient and kept coming on the pitch and doing well for us still. And then, obviously, Harry's found a little bit of an injury now, so Nick's come on the pitch and was outstanding on Saturday. So now it's his turn. It's kind of easy, really, in many ways. Addy obviously played in the game here against Doncaster and had a quieter game, and then Kellen comes on the pitch on Saturday again, and again there's a good game. So I think it's relatively easy. The ones who do the best end up probably having more minutes.
The fans have been terrific away from home all season. They were absolutely brilliant on Monday. Obviously it helped that it was bank holiday. We were able to take a few more than we normally would, but even then we've seen increased ticket sales for these next two games, which it could be big in terms of the course of our season. So as always, the message is stay behind us, and hopefully we're going to give you moments like Monday from now until the end of the season, whenever that may be.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, the fans have been outstanding all season. From the first game here against Bradford to now. They've been brilliant, and there's a lot of them spend a lot of money getting up and down the motorways. It's not cheap now to travel, and we certainly appreciate it. But yeah, we've enjoyed their support, and I'm sure they've enjoyed the football. But yeah, enjoy these remaining games, because it's great when we get to this part of the season with 5, 6, 7 games to go or whatever it is, and we're still talking about potentially being in the playoffs. I think it's great, and we've got loads to play for, and the fans should enjoy that and embrace it, like we are. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Scott, Monday was your 9th away win of the season. You were asked afterwards what it's down to, and you just said we're simply a better side than we were last year. But it's the first time since the first 2 seasons Crawley came into the Football League that they've won more than 8 games. So it can't just be the fact that they're a good side. Is there something else that has gone into that?
No, I think as staff we prepare properly. We're big on making sure that the hotel's the right amount of distance from the stadium. We're big on what the hotel's got to offer in terms of meeting rooms and things like that. Our preparation is really key. We make sure that we do set piece meetings. We make sure that we do the meeting for the whole team just before we leave. We make sure that all the stuff we do in the background is nailed bang on, and I think we've certainly got that balance right this season. It's felt professional. It's felt like we've got it right. When we go to away games and we arrive at the stadiums, we as staff feel that we've done everything possible in order for us to be prepared, and I think the players probably feel that as well, because they know how much hard work goes in behind the scenes and how much detail that we go through. So yeah, again, credit's got to go to the staff again, in terms of making sure that everything's spot on. We've travelled and trained a lot of the away games, so we've trained at a location en route, which I think's worked. And I just think that we've got kind of the preparation right. Listen, the lads have got to do it as well. I know no matter how much work and effort you put in as a staff, the lads have still got to cross that line and do it, and the boys have been brilliant. They've really taken on board the information in real detail and executed it fantastically well, in my opinion. And I think that they're enjoying the season. I think they're enjoying it, and I think it's almost like they can't wait for the next game always.
Yeah, and in addition to that, Monday was the 19th league win of the season, also the best performance since Crawley first came into that first season when they got promoted.
I'm breaking some records there, aren't I?
And also the most amount of goals since that first season in the Football League as well. That must make you feel incredibly proud of what you've achieved.
Yeah, it does, but I think that this can be done. I think that with this group we can do more. We can do a lot more. I look back at at the, not that I want to go negative here because I don't, but I look back at some of the points we've dropped. I think we could have done a lot more than we have done. But it is football. We're not going to win every time we cross that white line, but we always try to. And I think that we've built a real winning mentality here. I think the players can feel that from me, that I don't accept coming second, I don't accept drawing, I want to win. And of course football is a low scoring sport, and there's going to be times when we don't get it right, and there's going to be times when we lose, there's going to be times when we drop points. But the standards we've set here have been through the roof, and I will continue doing that.
Those two questions have led up to this question. The Manager of the Year nominations were announced for the EFL Awards. You're not in it. I was shocked that you weren't in it.
What, already? What?
Yeah, so it's so Nigel Clough, Lee Bell and Mike Williamson are the 3 nominated managers. You've missed out. Obviously you didn't clearly know that. Is that a disappointment? Does that bother you? Do you think you should have been there?
No, firstly I'd like to congratulate the 3 that have got in there, and all 3 of them deserve that, by the way. They've been brilliant, and fair play to them. But no, I think it's probably not for me to say. I think, and also I think it's quite early for him to call that. We're some teams have got 8-9 games left.
A lot can change.
And also, a lot of teams that you don't expect can probably still get promoted, right? So maybe it's an early call. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. But no, look, listen, whatever.
Yeah, fair enough. And looking at the squad, Harry Forster, is that a long-term thing or?
No, not a long-term at all. He actually joined in training today, but didn't finish the training session. So we're kind of dipping him in and out at the moment. We're hopeful that he could be included in the squad by the weekend, if not Tuesday.
And Dion Conroy, how did he come through his first game since Harrogate?
Yeah, I thought he did really well. I thought he was outstanding in the game. I thought he showed a real calmness. When we got to 3-0, we kind of thought that we needed to bring him off just to save his legs a little bit more than anything. But yeah, he's come through it unscathed, so yeah, he's ready to go again. And
it must be good with him coming back, and now Liam Kelly's obviously made a couple of appearances. Must be really good for the final run-in for the season.
Of course it is, yeah, and we've looked at it and not wanted to put Liam on too soon. Simply because we don't want to lose him for this run-in, No. We didn't want to give him kind of big minutes against Doncaster, and we didn't really want to give him loads of minutes against Newport, because we know, or we certainly, it was a risk in terms of if he ends up coming on and then we lose him for the remainder of the season, that would be a big miss. So we've been really careful with that one, but now we've got Saturday, Tuesday. You're definitely going to see more of him.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, after the exciting game that we had at Newport on Easter Monday, we've got another tough away trip upcoming as we travel to Mansfield this weekend. Can I get your thoughts ahead of that game?
Yeah, one that we're really looking forward to. Our away form's been amazing, really, the back end of this season. I know it's something that the club maybe hasn't been used to over recent years, and it's something that we looked at the start of the season as trying to improve, and at the moment it's been top class. So it's a game that we're going to go and attack and try and get some points out of it, and sort of challenge ourselves against the sides right at the top of the table.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that actually about the away form, because as you say, the club hasn't been used to sort of this much success on the road. What do you think that's down to? Is it sort of belief in the group? Is it just pure talent, pure quality? What do you think it's down to?
Yeah, there's probably a bit of belief to it. Once you start getting some results, it tends to sort of spiral. It can go both ways. So I'm guessing over the last few years, that's sort of where the club's been at. Obviously, the way we're playing this year, that we're a match for anyone. So I think we've gone to a lot of places, and like we did at the weekend, we scored early, and you can sort of get the opposition on the back foot and sort of get their crowd against them, and sort of maybe that helps us in our favour. And yeah, I don't know what it is. I can't really put my finger on it, but long may it continue.
Yeah, and we're going to need sort of all the belief we can get, as you said already. Mansfield, fighting for the league title this year, so it must give the players a big sort of boost of confidence, knowing how good we've been on the road this season, and knowing that Mansfield are probably sitting there looking at us, as a team that should be feared.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the form, I think over the last 15 games, I think only Doncaster are ahead of us in the form table, and that probably puts Friday's result into perspective as well. They're a good side, and although they might have been sitting 15th or 16th in the table at the time, they are technically the best team in the league at the moment over the last 15 games. So, yeah, I mean, like I said before, anyone's going to be we're a match for anyone, and anyone should be concerned when we come to town.
Yeah, obviously speaking on that Doncaster game, it did sort of disrupt, the excellent run that we had, but it seemed that was all very quickly forgotten in the space of only a few days with the tight Easter turnaround. What was the message that the gaffer gave to the players after Friday, and the sort of message that you all gave yourselves to take that much confidence? Because it really showed out there on Monday.
Yeah, I mean, I think we quickly parked it, really. Like you said, we had a great run, and we sort of tried to use it as a bit of a blip, really, and we needed a quick reaction on Monday, and I mean, they don't come any quicker than the goal we scored there, so that obviously helped us settle straight away, and I think we actually got the second sort of against the run of the play, which we haven't done many times this season, really. It seems to be that when we're controlling games, sometimes we concede against the run of play, so we said at half time it was quite nice to score like that, and then I think once the second went in, we really controlled the game, and yeah, especially once the third went in, obviously we knew then it was just about keeping the ball and seeing the game out, and we did that, and obviously got the fourth right at the end with a nice little move, so yeah, all tied in well.
Dream game for you as a defender, clean sheet and 2 assists as well. We've seen a lot over the course of the season that you've obviously played a big part in, set pieces, especially dead balls, but also throw-ins as well. So it must be really pleasing to get a couple more for yourself, because it's not that often, is it, that defenders, will rack up as many assists as yourself?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it helps that I am on set pieces, but I think over the course, I don't know how many have come direct from set pieces. There's been a couple from open play as well. So obviously if you take away the set pieces, I think I still won't be far off sort of 5, which is sort of a target for myself, trying to get to double figures really in goals and assists. So I just need to score another goal again this season to sort of get that to 5, and I'm happy with my numbers either side. But obviously we work really hard on set pieces. I know fans aren't happy sometimes when we go short, but like you saw on Monday, it worked perfectly, where we realised that obviously sending 3 out there and sending Darcy inside with his run, it took 2 away and I'd be free, and it sort of changed the angle, and obviously Dion come on and met the cross with perfect timing, and then the second assist for Loz's goal, I did think the goalie was probably going to come and get it, but obviously he stayed and it ended up being bang on perfect, and somehow he's dug out a finish from, I don't know where it's hit him. He's saying it's hit him on the foot, but I'm sure it's come off somewhere like nearer the knee, but a hell of a finish. I don't know how he's got it in from there, so yeah, I can't really take all the credit for that. 2 good finishes.
You obviously scored our first goal of the season. We've come a long way since then. We're sort of reaching the very end of the season now. How impressed have you been with the squad as a whole, of what we've achieved, and what is still a possible achievement as well?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone really saw it coming. I remember having chats with the gaffer in the summer, maybe and ahhing about signing here, to be honest with you. But the gaffer showed how he wanted to play. He showed some pre-season clips, and it sort of fell in line with how I wanted to play football and get back enjoying playing that style of football. And obviously, after a few games, once it come to fruition, how we were going to play, and we were putting teams to the sword. The buy-in from the boys and probably the fans as well realised that we could do something special. Obviously, we had a little bit of a blip in October. I don't think we even won a game, but we quickly got back on the horse and we believed in it again. And now I feel like we belong, and now it's just about finishing off all that hard work and getting ourselves in a playoff spot, because no one wants to come this far to get this far and miss out. So we'll be giving it everything now to get in the playoffs and extend our season.
I will. Yeah, carrying on that conversation, obviously there is the chance of a trip to Wembley at the end of all this. Have you ever played at Wembley, and what's it like having that as a carrot for the end of the season?
Yeah, I've never played there, so it's a big carrot for myself. Something that I'll try and not think of until the time arises. Obviously, it's every kid's dream to go and play at Wembley, and I get quite a good backing from friends and family, so I'll probably end up taking coach loads to sit in the stands to come and watch. So obviously that'd be really nice as well. So, and I've never really had a big playoff run either, which is something that I want to put on my CV, because that's why we play. We play for success. So yeah, something that I've got my eye on, but obviously we'll have to see, and I don't want to tempt fate yet. So. we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I asked Scott before the Doncaster game about the team now in the playoffs. Is there an extra pressure? Obviously, you lost against Doncaster, but you bounced straight back on against Newport. Being in the playoffs, does that add extra pressure as a player, do you think?
No, I don't think so. And I don't think it did. I saw a few tweets on Friday after the game saying that maybe the boys felt the pressure of a big crowd and being in the playoffs, but I really don't think that's the case. We've got, 6 games left now? So it doesn't matter if you're in the playoffs now. You need to be in there come 27th of April. I'd take being out of the playoffs the whole season to sneak in there on the last day. So yeah, I don't think there's any pressure. There's still so many points to play for.
Yeah, and I think at the beginning of the season, if you were told that you had to go to Mansfield and Wrexham within 4 days of each other, a lot of fans, and maybe you would be thinking, God, that's a tough old end. But the way you're playing at the moment and your away form shows how far this team has come, that you're going to those games when people are thinking you can probably get something from both.
100%. I think they'll both be very wary of us coming to town, and to be honest, I think they should be. Like you said, our form's been incredible, really, and the last 2 away games we've started and scored within 2 minutes. So if we can carry on that trend, then we'll try and make it not as easy, but obviously that helps and puts you in a one step forward straight away. So we'll try and replicate that again.
And a word about the gaffer, Scott Lindsey. The nominations for Manager of the Year came out today from the FL. He wasn't nominated. It's a travesty, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I saw it last night, I think, or maybe it got leaked on Twitter. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how he's not got... He must have been in contention at least, I don't know. But how he's not got down to the final 3, I'm not sure. I mean, the other 3 guys have done really well, but I see people saying with the budgets and maybe the size of the club, the clubs involved, that maybe the managers expected to be in there. Whereas here, we were everyone's whipping boys, weren't we? We were odds on to go down, and we're defying odds really with where we're at the moment. And you can only put that down to one man really and his beliefs. And yeah, like I said, we've all bought into it. So really, it's one man's job, and he should definitely be in a position to win an award of that ilk.